What's going on, guys? Eternal One back with another Ghost of Tsushima video, and today we're actually going to cover one of my favorite Ronin builds. It's probably one of the more fun builds that I have for the Ronin that I play. The Ronin's pretty damn versatile, but this one is it's quite fun. Um, it's going to be a Stone Striker Heavenly Strike build. And as you can see, we have max melee and staggered damage. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but staggered damage I think is really underrated. Um, when an enemy is staggered, all damage dealt to that staggered target will be increased. It's not just melee, it's not just ranged, it's ultimate, ghost weapon, stealth attacks, critical strikes, any of that stuff gets boosted when you have increased staggered damage on a staggered target. And the Stone Striker getting that nice juicy chunk of bonus damage already, this just amplifies that. Um, I have Stone Master because we're just going to be absolutely wailing on shit with Poison Blade as well to just further increase that stagger. You can run melee stagger damage. I've got a bomb pack and a caltrop actually with both of those. But I just found myself liking the status effect and status effect duration, or status effect damage, status effect duration better actually. Even with that, the Ronin also has a technique that you can use. It's completely up to you to further increase that stagger, but it's just melee stagger damage from my testing. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But as you can see, we're running a bomb pack with increased radius and status effect damage with black powder and flash bombs. Flash bombs are really underrated as well. They're really, really good. I think it's strange that you can actually perform assassinations when using the flash bombs on people, but hey, if you want to do that, you can. But it's just going to help you, smash down on those purple Oni Lords a little faster. Now, my Ronin charm, you're probably looking at it already or have looked at it already, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing with that thing? So, again, this is what I like to do. This is a very fun build for me to play, which I thought I would share. Back when you could only get gear to 110 and you could only have one perk, I always thought it'd be amazing to have a healing spirit bear, which you couldn't do at that point, and now you can. Um, so that's what I've chosen to do. I run Healing Spirit Radius, as you can see, 100% to give that Healing Spirit Bear a nice, massive radius. The good thing about it is not only is the radius massive, but the entire time your bear is out, you're going to be healing yourself and your teammates. It's really nice. Unfortunately, the only bad thing about having a bear is when they pounce on enemies. If your friends or even you are trying to Moonmaster cancel, you will not be able to connect until that enemy has gotten up. But it works well with this. With the Stone Striker, you can still hit them even when your bear pounces on them. Um, I've actually had a bear, my spirit bear, throw a full life purple Oni Lord off of a cliff and even drown him. Didn't even know drowning them was a thing. Uh, at least with your spirit bear doing it, but it's amazing. I really like it. It's better than just throwing down your healing incense and standing in one spot. You can heal on the go. So as you're capping a point and then running to your next location, you'll be healing yourself and any friends following. So it's pretty sweet. And then, of course, I've got staggered damage again. I've got perfect stats on all my gear. It's not something that you have to have. It's just what I prefer. I've played the game since launch, so at this point in the game, it's the fact that I'm even still playing it is a testament to how good this game is. But next up, we have our Ghost Weapon one. I'm using Spirit Kunai, obviously. I know I said in my Hunter video that it was the second best legendary, but I misspoke. It is the best legendary. 9 times out of 10, if not more than that, if possible, I will actually run Ghost Weapon damage and cooldown on kill. But because of the type of build that I'm running, I'm trying to get as much melee damage for my Heavenly Strike as I possibly can, and as you can see, you can get melee damage on the Spirit Kunai. So I've opted out of cooldown on kill for melee damage. You don't have to. If you find that you're doing more than enough damage without it, then you can go with cooldown on kill. It's just something that I like to do. The Ronin gets so much ghost weapon damage that if you play your cards right, you're pretty much going to auto refresh that kunai anytime you use it if you use it properly. You can throw black powder or throw your caltrops down, let people run into them, throw a black powder, and then kunai, and everything's back. Um, and then moving on to, which I don't even really need to talk about supermassive and hidden blades. If you're using the spirit kunai, you use supermassive and hidden blades. I don't even really need to cover that. But for my Ghost Weapon 2, we're actually using caltrops. This is like the only character that I use caltrops on religiously. They're underused in my opinion, and it's possible that that's rightfully so. The smoke bomb is so damn meta at this point with munitions. And if you want to replace the caltrops, if you want to copy this build, by all means, it will serve you well with giving you more black powders and stuff like that. But I actually really like caltrops. I wish that I could, without giving up my ghost weapon damage, run demon seeds, because I think that's another extremely underrated legendary. That thing just melts everything that touches them. But I like caltrops. It gives you another chance for increased ghost weapon damage that a smoke bomb wouldn't, and then the increased status effect duration because I have fired up. Uh, they'll burn harder, they'll burn longer, and that obviously works with your black powder bombs from your bomb pack as well. And then deep bags just to hit as many people as possible. I like to throw it down in the center of a fight, or if a bunch of enemies are chasing me, I'll just throw them down, just let them walk through them, throw a black powder, like I said, and then a kunai, and those things are shredded. As for the techniques, obviously we're using our spirit animal with the spirit bear. Enhanced ghost weapon damage. Again, I'd love to run demon seeds, but I just don't like giving up that much ghost weapon damage. I know it causes weakens, so you get like 25% of it back. And if it's something you want to do, it's I've done it before just for shits and giggles, and it does work. But I just like this better. It's more reliable for your spirit kunai to get your stuff back. Um, Something I actually didn't mention about the spirit bear is you can actually summon, I think, up to 3 of them at a time. So if you time your kunai kills right after summoning one, you can get your spirit bears not necessarily back to back because it is a nasty cooldown of 65 seconds, but you can at least get 2 pretty frequently if you play your cards right. Um, it's amazing having more than one, and if you ever do get 3, it's just incredible. Um, and then okay, so I mentioned this earlier, the staggering imposition. And it doesn't say that it is staggered damage, and it doesn't say that it's melee stagger damage. I think it's melee stagger damage and not staggered damage. If it's staggered damage, I'd probably run it, but with Poison Blade and Stone Master, because even though Stone Stance isn't that great, Stone Master is fast and it pummels stagger gauges. So it's gonna do you some good to run this. At times, I will swap over from increased resolve, but when you're running a Stone Striker build, generally you want as much resolve as possible. But uh, I don't typically use my Heavenly Strike unless an enemy is staggered, so I get the full benefit of it. You can two-shot a Suck Butter. That's the name I give Sukubater. But you can two-shot those guys when they're staggered with Heavenly Strike. Um, but I find myself with a lot of resolve, waiting for those staggered. I mean, enemies to be able to hit, but you can use it at any time. If you're in trouble and you have 4 or 5 bars, you can just smash through, a lot of enemies with that. Do keep in mind though, something I've noticed is that if 2 enemies are right on top of each other, and you go to Heavenly Strike and you hit both, it will take 2 bars of resolve, not just one. And then last but not least, we obviously have Legendary because we're running the Spirit Kunai with the Stone Striker. Something I did want to cover really quickly. I do have a Stealth Charm. If you don't like the Healing Bear, Or you just find it too difficult to try to, you know, because guys, the 100% on the character charms are just ass to try to roll for. Um, Obviously, I don't have a perfect, you know, stagger damage on this, but it basically is. You can run this if you want to run Flaming Roar or Healing Incense and get even more Ghost Weapon damage, or you could run, you know, instead of Ghost Weapon damage, melee damage, or any of those three: Ghost Weapon damage, stagger damage, melee damage. Any of those work fine. Obviously, increased resolve is good for the build, and then Fire Master for your bombs and your caltrops. But I opt for the Healing Bear because it's dope as hell. All right, let's show off the build.
What legend would you like to hear? A harrowing tale? Blood in the snow.
All right, so I'm just going to briefly show you an example of what the build can do. Heavenly Strike Ronins or Stone Striker Ronins are nothing new. Really, it's just the fact that I'm running the Spirit Bear with, you know, healing properties. And then I think stagger damage, because again, I think stagger damage is really... I didn't even mean to do that, but did you see the caltrop damage? That was disgusting.
Struck from a distance.
Jesus. Another good thing is caltrops drop stagger gauges, right? You see the stagger gauge? You see how it's dropping? That's going to benefit you. I don't know how he didn't get staggered by that. But as soon as he staggers, yeah. Shredded. And you can still just, you know, slice through people.
Ghost struck true.
It still works even when you don't have anybody staggered, excuse me. But I can just show you what this looks like for a minute. You know, you heal quick if you're running to a point. Your bear will follow you. As you can see, he's healing me as I run. That's really nice when you're trying to go from point to point. He'll grab people to keep these fuckers from actually teleporting on you, which is pretty helpful. You see all these guys are coming in, right? And you can actually push people into your caltrops, which is nice. Another good thing is, well, that was a bad example, but unless you hit somebody, you don't actually use... Shit, I don't think I can tell.
Ghost hit them.
Now I have no bombs. And even if you don't want to use... Oh yeah.
Met its demise.
It just shreds. You can always throw a bomb to keep them from teleporting. Or do that. Throw out the Spirit Bear. I was gonna say... That does crazy amounts of damage. Plus that animation is fucking sick. But alright. I don't know if you know that you can do this, but you can literally just like flick your controller downward and you'll quickly dispel the blood from your sword. And I am using that new Horizon Forbidden West outfit. There are plenty of videos out on YouTube covering how to get this. I think it's unfortunate that Ronin got this, but I suppose in a sense I can understand it, but the poor hunter just always getting shafted. I think it looks pretty badass. And then I'm running one of those red and black wolf masks. I can't remember the name of it. As well as the red and black. What is that? Mishira's bite, something like that. I can't remember. Or maybe that's the other one. I think that's actually the black one or green one. Anyhow, that's the Wrathful Ronin. That's what I like to call it, thanks to my girlfriend. So we're gonna roll with that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.